Greetings and welcome. Thank you for joining me here at Bloom From Within Love. I go by Bloomy. And today I'm here to do a tarot / oracle guidance reading for you all regarding your parenting. So for those of you that are parents or caretakers currently in your life, it is about your parenting. How do you feel right now in terms of your parenting? In your thoughts and emotions, what's going on currently, and then some guidance concerning your parenting in your situation, okay, as relates to whoever you're caring for as a parent, okay? Doesn't have to be your biological. And so for the sake of time, I've already meditated, shuffled, and got the guidance cards, thought cards, and images already laid out. And so what I'm doing now is pulling a couple of tarot to see what energy is present currently in terms of your parenting right now, whether it's internal or external environment, or maybe I'll do a little bit of both. I'll pull 2 tarots to see internal, what's going on in the energy, okay, and then externally, what's going on in your energy as it relates to your parenting. So internal and then external environment, okay? 2 cards from tarot, and if clarification is needed, I will, certainly pull more than one. And once I do that, then I will go into what I'm picking up on interpretation, channeled messages, and what I'm sensing and feeling from the cards. So can we get internally as relates to parenting for the collective today? What is going on in their energy? What's the energy that's present as relates to tarot? What's going on internally related to parenting for today? What's going on internally related to their parenting today? Concerns or whatever is going on in their thoughts internally as relates to parenting, please and thank you. What's going on? Internal energy as it relates to parenting, the collective's feelings, thoughts, energy in their parenting. What's going on as it relates to tarot? What's going on, please and thank you. Oh, okay, I'm gonna take it. That's interesting to come out for that, but we'll see internally. All right, externally, external influence, external environment related to parenting. What's going on? External influence, external environment. How's it affecting the parenting? So what's going on externally affecting the parenting? What's going on externally? What's going on externally as it relates to tarot regarding their parenting today? What's going on externally? What's going on externally, please and thank you? What's going on externally, please and thank you? What's going on externally? What's going on externally? Almost. What's going on externally? Okay. Can we get a clarifier for what's going on internally for the lovers? Can we get a clarifier regarding their parenting? Can we get a clarifier for the lovers? Please and thank you. Can we get it? Ooh, okay. Oh. Okay. Can we get a clarifier for the Princess of Swords, the activist? Can we get a clarifier for the external environment? A clarifier for the Princess of Swords, the activist. Can we get a clarifier, please and thank you? Can we get a clarifier for the external? Can we get a clarifier for the Princess? Dang. Okay. Ooh. All right. Bottom of the deck here, we got the Hangman. Whew. All right, my dears. So, right off the back, I'm going to start with the thoughts, the reality of what's happening in the external, and then the guidance up top, okay? So, some of you right now, this is how you're feeling inside, okay, about your parenting today. All right, take a look at this picture. There's a kid that they got their head kind of, I don't know if they're trying to flip their head. It looks like it's buried in the sand. Okay, take a look at that. And the message that came out behind it, I'm not even sure what that means, so I'm just going to pick up intuitively. It says here, carpe the fuck out of this DM. Sorry for the French, but that's what the card says, okay? So what I'm getting is that today, in terms of your parenting, for some of you, those that this resonates with, you feel like you know, I don't want to say either in over your head or overwhelmed. You want to bury your head in the sand. That's really what you want to do in terms of parenting, okay? It could be, there's a lot of frustration. You feel overburdened because, especially with the message, the fuck out of this, you know, so maybe, you know, there's just a lot of pressure. Maybe some of you have a lot of kids. Maybe some of you all have like toddlers or teenagers, and you want to run and go literally just, you're breaking your neck trying to escape. Actually, you're wanting to, and you want people to like leave you alone right now. That's just how you're feeling. And I just want to say that it's okay, you know, to validate you guys as caretakers or parents. I just want to say that, you know, I know it's not kosher to say, but it's okay that you feel that way. I mean, you're a human being, okay? So in your thoughts and feelings, this is what some of you all, you know, are actually feeling and thinking at the time. And what's happening literally in your environment, okay? Those were your internal thoughts. What's happening in your literal environment right now in terms of your parenting is this. So take a nice look at this and see how you feel with it. Okay, so couple things I'm picking up here is twofold. One, on the parent side, on your side, you want to put up a shield over your whole head right now because you feel like, you know, your kids or somebody is just like banging your head with this hammer. Like, won't leave you alone. And the bandage on the little kid's leg is like, okay, you know, you feel like it's just a disaster or one thing and another. Like, it may feel chaotic today. People are falling, breaking stuff, fighting with siblings, just out of this world. And you want to put a shield over your head. And then others of you that may have some older ones, you feel like they're not listening. Okay, like they're hard-headed. All right, they're not listening. It's almost like there's an invisible shield over their head, and that's why they keep falling and getting those boo-boos, and that's why, you know, stuff is breaking around the house or coming up missing, and, you know, siblings fighting because they're not listening. Like, some of you are literally saying they're not listening to a word that I say. They're hard-headed, and I'm like, yeah, so that's how, you know, what's going on. So maybe there's a little bit of fighting and a little chaos, a little, you know, kids not listening or doing what you asked them to do today. And the thought that backs it up, it says here, listen here, you little shit. Again, excuse the French, but that is, what's, some of you are probably saying it, since this is what's going on in the reality. If you're not using that word, you're alluding to that. You're saying, listen here, like, you're trying to get things in order. You're trying to get to discipline them, basically. So you're dealing with issues with discipline on some level, or at least you feel that way, and it looks like it's manifesting that way. Okay, and you feel like it's just causing stuff. People are getting scratches, boo-boos, stuff is breaking, coming up missing, or whatever, right? Now, in the advice position, this is what you all got. Take a look at that. I kind of chuckled. I'm like, this is advice? How the hell? You know what I'm saying? Like, 2 kids, it looks like it's either paint, clay, I don't know if it's paste, and I think it's white paint, sitting on the couch, just going for it. And so the advice here is twofold. Again, take a breath, because I know we as parents, especially if you're a single parent or caretaker, we don't want to hear this part because we're the ones that's got to deal with it, right? But I am getting 2-part messages, and that is, take a breath and relax and just allow your kids to just kind of be, of course, with reason and caution. You certainly don't want to put them in danger. You certainly want to be mindful of anything like that, right? Breaking things, putting themselves in danger or others. But to some extent, some of our stuff is just because we're super control freaks, or we're just stressed out, and we just, you know what I mean? We don't want to have to deal with mess. I know how it is. I'm a mom. I was a single mom my whole life, majority, so, we be like, okay, y'all doing the extras. I'm going to need, what I'm saying? Y'all making a mess over here. I'm the one that's going to have to clean you up, and I'm the one that's going to have to clean this up, and to hell with that, But the advice is actually to loosen up a little bit, put them in a space, whether it's putting like plastic over something, because on this couch, like, it looks like the parent put plastic on it or something. So whether it is, if you got little ones, finding a space that you can kind of create for them to make a hot mess. If it's like a border inside the house, and you give them an area in the room and let them throw dirt or paint, like creating a space to where they can jump, paint, whatever it is, to get that energy out, because a lot of them just got all that energy and it needs to be burnt out, and the only way we can do it is by letting them do it. Some of you, maybe if you can go to a park or a backyard and create a space, I'm not sure, but that's part of the advice. For the older ones, is kind of just give them space to be themselves. You know what I mean? Like, set the boundary, but, let them, if they want to fuss and fight with their siblings, let them do it. And refuse to get in the middle of it. And tell them that, because if they're older, you can communicate like, I'm not even, because then they're forced to have to deal with their own stuff. They can't come back and forth to you and just say, no, not today. You guys, you're old enough, you're fighting. I'm not going to be getting up back and forth, and you're saying this and you're saying that. I'm not doing it today. And then almost ignore, to a degree, if it's not something serious, to kind of put the responsibility back onto the older ones to deal with their own shit, deal with their own mess, deal with their own fights, with their siblings or whatever. You can tell them, you guys can go do that in the room. You guys can go do that outside. You guys, have some boundary, but kind of just detach from it and let them have at it. Let them voice themselves. Some of them, I'm picking up that they just need to, some of them may need to talk to you. They need to voice how they feel, and you may need to just take a breath and Ask for help to not get so triggered or take it personally. And then once it's done, set the boundary like, okay, I let you say what you need to. I hear you, but I'm gonna think about it, and that's that. And so go on about your day, do what you're gonna do, and we'll get back at that later, right? And then the support that came out was this right here. The thoughts, that's really behind it. It says, when you love your family but also want to leave them at a highway rest stop. And then it says, Madame, you are trying my patience. So, again, that's how you all are feeling. You're like, okay, And so leaving them at a highway is maybe giving them that space and some boundaries to detach yourself from that, so that they can work it all out, their energy, their issue, and then trying your patience. So you guys are being called to be patient with yourself and be patient with your children today, okay? Even though it's trying, you can ask for help with that and moving forward. So then I asked, oh man. I asked for some fairy guidance for you guys on this. If there was anything the fairies could say to you all for support. And so, believe it or not, some of you are being called to change your diet, even as it relates to your parenting for you. Okay, I know this is a parenting reading, but it says here, vegetarian. So, of course, take this as it resonates now. So don't get offended because it came out. It says here, a new way of eating gives you more energy, greater health, clarity, and stronger manifestation abilities. So I can see why it relates, because maybe you're feeling tired and overburdened and foggy and unclear. And, the kids is just like, it ain't helping. And so if you shift in your diet just a little bit, maybe adding more green into your diet, okay, it's saying here that it'll give you clarity and stronger manifestation in terms of your health and things like that. So this can certainly help as it relates to your parenting, okay? And then the goddess energy that supported the fairy was, let me see, can you guys see it? It is Anita, Earth Angel, okay? Earth Angel, you are a heavenly river, an angel in human form here on earth as a beneficial presence for all who come into your field. It is not grandiose, conceited, or vain to accept the magnitude of your ripple effect. It is a humble truth. The more you take radical, oceanic responsibility for your gifts, the more potently the outpouring of your blessings will permeate the world. Okay, and so, with this, the goddesses want to say, first of all, that you're doing a wonderful job. Okay, you're a wonderful parent. You're human, but in a whole sense, you've been doing great, and you were called to that. You decided to be a parent even before you were, long before you were. And pat yourself on the back, okay? And as you do that, then you feel a little state of rest, a little bit, or ease in that, okay, don't be so hard on yourself because of everything that we just laid out here. Don't be so hard on yourself, like I said earlier, okay? And take care of yourself so that you can continue on and feel good, all right? And then the second fairy card that came out was Summer. Everything that you're asking for becomes yours in the summertime. And so as it relates to your parenting, okay, maybe you guys are looking for some shifts and changes in your environment and your dynamic, and it's saying it's going to happen within the summer, okay? And then the goddess support for you all with this is Yamaya, mother goddess of the sea. As you are made of mostly water, learning to contain your emotion is the key, okay, to thriving, not just surviving in the deep end of relationship. Become the great mother of your experience. Take 100% responsibility for your feelings, whether they are high or low. turbulent or calm, and the glow of your flow will lead you to a treasure beyond measure. So, taking responsibility for your feelings regarding your parenting today, regarding what's going on, instead of projecting it out, just take full responsibility, okay? And I can't talk water. So what I'm picking up is some of you need to drink more water today. Perhaps take a soak, a bath, or go for a swim, and that's going to assist you with that and with releasing, okay, what's ever happening for you today, all right? And then moving on to the last fairy guidance was pregnancy. Okay, so some of you are either pregnant, and so your hormones may be at play here. Okay, for those of you who are not pregnant, this is just really about your motherhood, since this is a parent reading. And it says the birth of a child brings great blessings to you in the world. And so what I'm picking up with that is just a shift in perspective if you're not pregnant, okay? A shift in perspective in how you're looking at being a parent, because it's hard to have a good perspective on days like this, okay? Your reading is like, okay, shoot me now. And I want to leave, like they on your nerves. So it's hard to see perspective in days like this, which is fine. But this is just a reminder to shift your perspective and relax and realize that being a parent or being pregnant, even though it has its highs and lows, it's actually a blessing to you and the world, okay? And the support that came out from the goddesses was Mary, mother of the Christ presence, okay? So some of you are beautiful parents, very beautiful parents, and you're too hard on yourself, okay? But the support from the goddesses is this. It says, go to the rooftop of your consciousness so that you may receive your higher calling. Surrender to the divine energy birthing through you, okay? Without needing to have it all figured out. Don't we always want to figure it out? Let that go. Be a willing vessel through whom the universe can deliver a new idea, creation, or expression that may be the salvation of the world. Okay, so in this case, taking on that new perspective, surrendering the need to have it figured out, surrendering the need to be perfect, just surrendering to your higher consciousness, that divine love within may prove to be the salvation of you, the salvation of your parenting, the salvation of the dynamic in which you are in with your children and in the home environment, okay? So, that's just gorgeous. And then now going to the traditional tarot, I asked what was in your internal energy affecting your parenting. And oddly enough, you guys got a major arcana for that, and that was the Lovers. Okay? So some of you may be having some issues in your relationship, and you're dealing with it internally. It's in your energy. There's some challenges there emotionally, maybe, or with a connection with a significant other. That is playing a role in influencing your parenting, okay? So keep that in mind, that your relationships certainly affect your parenting. And so meditate, take some time to yourself so that you can evaluate what's happening there. Some of you may be, trying to date. If you're not with somebody, you're trying to date, you're looking, and so you feel a little bit overwhelmed, like, how could I do it all? How could I put myself back out there? I'm trying to align so I can manifest my lover, and my kids are acting up. What the hell? Right? Because this is internal, and it's affecting your parenting, okay? And then also, it could be you with you, because the Lovers can be about you trying to find balance back to you as well. Divine yin and yang within yourself. So some of you are trying to find that balance, and because you're trying to find that balance, some of you feel like, okay, you can't, it's a struggle, and shifting back and forth is the representation of Gemini, the twins. So it's like shifting back and forth. You're like, oh my gosh, how the hell am I supposed to get balance? These dang on churns. Y'all telling me to balance, these churns ain't letting me balance. But believe it or not, you can. That's what's kind of the beauty in this is like, you can find it. You just have to create it and allow yourself a moment, just a moment to shift and care for yourself in a balanced way now. If it means you got to get up super early, whatever that means for you. But there is certainly a way to find that balance, okay? And then even the balance in terms of those of you who are trying to date, and then those of you who are in a relationship, if there are things going on there, that needs to be addressed within you in the relationship, and just keep an eye on that, and just be cognizant of knowing that your relationships affects your parenting and how you feel about parenting, okay? And the support with that was the Ten of Wands, which was oppression. So like I said, you feel like you're in jail, straight up burdened, straight up to the max, like this shit right here. Like some of y'all are like feeling that way. I asked for a clarifier, so maybe it feels overburdening trying to carry it all, or you feel imprisoned, to some degree, right? Trying to make it all work, or some of you, the baby daddy or mama might be in prison, and, you're not getting that support. But I really feel like it's metaphoric, that you feel imprisoned, you feel heavy, you feel limited, you feel like you just got the weight of the world on your back, like this guy. And it's affecting your parenting. And so the advice is, as it was stated earlier, certainly to lighten up and release, create the healthy boundaries, a lot of self-care and the guidance, okay? And then that was the internal world. So what's affecting the external world is the Princess of Swords, the activist. The activist, okay? So the external, there's a lot of talk, there's a lot of messages, there's a lot of creativity and energy in your external world right now, whether it is you, voicing what you want to say, dealing with things that you're trying to create and manifest in the external world. So some of you have projects and things that you're working on and dealing with right now in business. Since it says the activist, just trying to speak about balance. And then if it's teenagers, everybody's talking about what ain't fair and coming at you with messages and energy. And so in the external environment, there's a lot of communicative energy, swords energy going on. And the support, the confirmation on that one is the Nine of Swords, cruelty. And so again, there's this sense in need and feeling like, okay, I'm stressing out. There needs to be some justice. There needs to be some balance. There needs to be some release. I'm getting, I don't know which way to go, which way to turn, what to do. I'm trying to not be cruel, but my mind is overburdened. I'm trying to be fair, but it's just too much going on. So externally, this is what's been influencing your parenting style and how you feel about your parenting. And so that's a lot of mental thoughts, a lot of mental energy, you guys. And so once again, back to the guidance is releasing it, the need to control, the need to be perfect. Give yourself a break, pat yourself on the back, drink some water, go for a swim, take care of yourself, healthy boundaries. Put the little ones in an area, let them have at it, make mess. Let the teenagers fight it out as long as they don't kill each other. Put up some healthy boundaries, but know that you're a good mom or dad and you're doing great. And it's a blessing, and that this is just perhaps one of those days that it feels like somebody put your head on the wrong way, right? All right, so that is the reading that I have for you all today. I hope that helped the parenting reading, what you're thinking and feeling about your parenting, what's going on with your parenting, and the advice for your parenting. So in essence, you guys, the overall guidance would be take care of yourself, okay, today. Create some space create some space to just breathe, okay? Let the kids be kids, drink some water, shift in your diet today, maybe get a green shake or something like that, okay? But you're doing great, and this too shall pass, okay? I'm sending you all love and light. Namaste.